Good evening, everybody. This is Mike Kilo Oscar for Papa Delta India, the ham fun guy. How is everybody today? Ooh, what a busy day. It's been a long day for me. I've been doing stuff around the house. Tomorrow is going to be even a longer day. I'm going to cut the grass tomorrow. I might not cut the grass tomorrow. I might wait till Friday. It's been rainy like crazy, and the grass in some places it's growing, and some places it's not. Hey, we got whole bunch of people here. We got Roger just checked in. Ed's here. Andy Cowley came to the game. How you doing, Andy? Well, we got Ed here. We got Andy. We got Roger. Roger. We have Hayden from Australia. It's morning for him. He's having his cup of coffee right now. And we're all having a good old time with ham radio. And that's what we're going to do tonight. Roger had sent me a detailed email. Roger, if you want something that detailed, you do it. Because I don't have the time to make that video, but I am going to make a really good series of videos. I'm working on that. Tonight, you're going to get a little sample of it because it's going to be like a studio recording. It's not going to be a live stream because I want to make sure I get everything. I want to make sure I touch every subject. So if you have subjects about ham radio and satellites you'd like to have questions answered, email me, ko4pdi@1791.com. ko4pdi, the call sign, and the email address is ko4pdi@1791.com. That's an email address where Google can't track that, so they don't get to see what it is. And anyway, so tonight I'm going to start off with a little surface look at what we're going to talk about. I had some specific questions from another emailer asking about the gain on the WeMo antennas and all that, and we are going to get into serious detail on all that stuff in the series of videos I make. There will be 10 to 15 to 20-minute videos each. I will edit them down small, and I'll launch them one at a time. One on the 9700, one on the WeMo antennas, one on the preamps I'm using, one on, what else? The cable I use, the ABR Industries cables that I have. I got to find, I think that was ABR 9700 ham rate. Do I have the preamps on here? No. This is a page with Anderson power poles. We don't want that. I'm looking for what I haven't really. Hey, Fred. Good to see you here. Fred's here, too. Good to see you, Fred. Let's see. Did I open up a page with that on it already? No, I don't think I did. But we're going to talk about the preamps because the ones I have, I paid $250 each for them. And damn, they don't make them anymore. They were MFJ. I should have bought more because I could have sold them for a lot of money because people want them. They were selling when MFJ went out of business. The preamps were going for $300 each. Those were the most inexpensive preamps I've ever found online. All the other ones run between $500 and $600, which sucks. But you really don't need them for everything. You only need them for certain linear satellites, basically RS-44. In the future, we might need them on other satellites, but right now, that's the only one I really use the preamps for. Otherwise, the preamp in the IC9700 is fine. A lot of you know my story. You know where I started. You know what I started working with, and but some of you don't. So let me give you a perusal of the first satellite contact I ever made. I had an Allowance HD1 HT, and I used an Arrow 2 antenna. I didn't have any egg beaters in my backyard. I didn't have any Yaggies in my backyard. I had none of that stuff. So I started that way, and I made one contact, and that's it. I'm sold. I'm sold. I got to do this. So the quest began. When I started, the only videos online were ones made by DX Engineering and Sean Kutzko. Sean Kutzko, I believe, has acquired every grid square in the United States on a satellite contact, which is pretty freaking amazing. There's over 400 grid squares in the United States, and he's activated every single grid square, whether he went there and transmitted from there or he talked to somebody in that grid square. I haven't even done that on HF. So that's pretty freaking amazing. Anyway, I watched these videos and I got some good advice, some not so good advice, but basically it wasn't bad advice. I didn't know. I didn't know that an egg beater antenna, even though it can receive those frequencies, is not going to give you a lot of coverage. It's basically anything above 30 degrees you'll be able to pick up. I didn't know that. So I went out and I got the ASU rotator. There's a difference between a rotor and a rotator. A rotator is elevation and azimuth. A rotor is just azimuth. So keep that in mind. So that's what I did. I got the ASU 5500, and I said, all right, we need Yagis. So I just bought a 2-meter Yagi and a 70-centimeter Yagi. I didn't know nothing about circular polarization. I didn't know anything about that at all at the time. I put them on a 20-foot military pole setup in my backyard. Those are those military tent poles. I used that in order to do it. And I had them in my backyard about 20 feet off the ground. And 10 feet behind where the antennas were was a wall of trees. So anything in that direction, I got nothing. So as time went on, I kept thinking, I got to get higher, got to get higher, got to get higher. A friend of mine was training himself on taking down ham radio towers, mostly Roan towers. And that would be Ziggy. And you know Ziggy as the 75 ohm ham. And he gave me my tower, even gave me a trailer to put it on and tow it home. And then I went right back to his house and brought it back. It was like an 1.5-hour drive both directions, each way, I mean. So I got the tower. So I'm thinking, great, I'm all set up. Well, what do you got to do to mount the tower? You got to put it in the ground. You got to get some heavy-duty concrete at the base of that thing, which I did. And slowly but surely, through process of trial and error, because I wasn't a scientist, I wasn't trained in this. This was all learn as I go. Just like a lot of you are when you delve into new things in ham radio, you wing it. You do it on your own until you figure it all out. So if anybody calls me an appliance operator, I will gladly tell you, bull. I paid my dues. I spent a lot of money. That free tower ended up costing me about $6,000 between the welding I had to do on the new base and all that. It was horrendous. But all because I was self-taught. Nobody taught me how to do this. Sean taught me how to work satellites, how to work a linear satellite, and how to work a FM satellite. Funny story today. I'm going into what's that? Mike Oscar. I want to get my QRZ page up here and make sure I don't make any mistakes. My logbook, I'll get it for you. I was on Mike Oscar 122 earlier. And, I didn't upload that log yet. Better do that right now. Import ADF file. Choose. Anyway, so I was working that satellite. It's a linear satellite. But I didn't realize it when I clicked on it. The funny thing was, when I clicked on it, I didn't realize my radio was still on FM. It wasn't on LSB, USB. And I heard, I think it was, is this the one? Yeah, Howard Koenig, WB2TQE. He heard me clear as a bell on FM on M0122. I was like, why is that? Why can he hear me? He shouldn't be hearing me. He shouldn't be hearing me. Why did he hear me? I didn't understand. I got to figure that one out. I got to talk to people that know more than I do and say, hey, how come I was able to transmit and receive on an FM repeater on M0122 when it's a linear satellite? I didn't understand that. There's no listing on M0122 that it has an FM repeater also. So who knew? I don't know how I did that. But anyway, the good news is I was able to make a QSO with him, and that was the only QSO I made with him. It was the only one I made a QSO with. All right, so we were talking about the rotor, or the rotator. let me start showing you some stuff. And before we start this, I'm going to jump over to this screen here so you can see this. This is the ICOM 9700. And this is what I use for satellites. When I do the video on the 9700, I'll go into great detail how the 9700 actually has a SAT setting, which I've never used because I'm lucky in the sense that, great, my watch is going into low power mode. I've been using it all day. Anyway, so the 9700 actually has a satellite mode, but I like using the information from the SAT box better, this self-contained antenna tracker. It's much, much better. It's clearer and it's simple. But before we do anything, this is the best radio for you to do satellites with. I'm going to say it again. This is the best radio. It's not the only radio you can do satellites with, but it is the best one. Why? It is full duplex. So when I'm speaking, my SAT box makes the AVFO your transmit always, whether it's 2 meter or 70 centimeter. AVFO is always your transmit. The BVFO, that would be the bottom one, is what you listen on. That's how you receive on the BVFO. No matter what, the SAT box makes them all the same. Makes A transmit, B receive. SAT PC32 and other ones using the SAT mode in the 9700 don't do that. Sometimes the transmit's on top, sometimes it's on the bottom. I don't like that. I like the way this works just the way it is. But look, you are going to spend a nickel short of $1,900 before tax, and that is HRO's discount. So really think long and hard before you start to think, oh, I'm going to do satellites. I'm going to set up just like Mike. You're going to spend some money. It's going to cost you a fortune. In my case, I become creative. I'm a creative financier. I should put it that way. For instance, this microphone, this is a new mic. I just got this from my good friend W83QCV, was selling it, gave it to me for a great price. This is the Electro Voice RE27 ND. That's the microphone. That's yeah, that's in the settings of the SAT box. You can make the top or the bottom your transmit, and it stays the same for every satellite. So anyway, this microphone was given to me. So if the audio sounds exceptionally well, this is why. And K6EGG, Greg, you wish you had this one. I think you do have this one, but I think yours is black. Either that or you got the Shure SM7, the original. That's Greg, K6EGG is fantastic. He's the guy that got me started doing this live stream in the right way. Gave me some pointers on how to set up the microphone so you're not messing up the radios and vice versa. And he did a really good job teaching me how to do this, and I greatly appreciate Greg, K6EGG. He's also the guy that blew the whistle on the fake SM7 microphone I bought on TikTok for $80. That's a $400 microphone, and I got it for $80 because I said if it's $80 and it's a fake, well, it's an $80 lesson. But turns out I could return it just as easily as I return things to Amazon. I was able to return things on TikTok. So I sent it back and got all my money back. So no harm, no foul. Got to experiment with it, and I could tell it didn't sound really great. This is not a knockoff. This is the real deal. This is Rush Limbaugh used to have the golden EIB microphone. This is the model that he had, and his was actually gold-plated, which I guess when you own a Gulfstream G6 or 2, you could afford to get your microphone gold-plated. And he did. And that was the coolest thing in the world. He was such, oh man, I miss Rush. I miss him tremendously. All right. So we talked about getting started, how I got started, and now we're looking at the ICOM 9700. I had a, I had a Yaesu 991A, which I made my first contact on a satellite with the 8 meters with that radio. That was not full duplex. It is 2 meters, 70 centimeter, but it was not full duplex, and I didn't own a SAT box at the time. It wasn't until later on. Yeah, the Heil microphones are good, but yeah, I like those too. But man, you can't beat this mic. This is radio quality microphone. I don't know about the Heils. I haven't used them. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying, for the price I got this, I'm not buying a Heil mic. I got this very good price with the vibration canceling mount, which I'm replacing. I'm not going to. This is giant. This is huge. I don't need all this. I don't bang my hand on the desk that much, and then the boom is mounted far enough away. I really probably don't need this, but I got it anyway, so I have it. All right, so mind you, you're going to spend some money on the radio. This is direct sampling brought to you to the VHF UHF world, and I can read this to you. This is really cool stuff here. It says, specifically built for VHF UHF weak signal operator in mind, the IC9700 is an RF direct sampling receiver for 2 meters and 70 centimeters with a single down conversion for 23 centimeters with an IF sampling receiver between 311 and 371 megahertz. This design provides a quiet receiver with the power of ICOM's DSP technology, along with a robust PA providing 100 watts on 2 meters and 75 watts on 70 centimeters and 10 watts on 23 centimeters. Band management. In addition, band-specific channels, the IC9700 allows for band-specific receiver and transmitter settings in the transmit. All right, that's really good too. Other planned features include all modes tri-band transceiver. All right, that's pretty good. Supports CW, AM, single sideband, SM, RTTY, and D-Star, DV, and DD modes. This, just so you know, like I use this for satellites. That's what you see in the window flipping back and forth too. I use this for all my satellite contacts, but it is the most used radio in my ham shack. I use it more than my HF radios because I get all the local repeaters on it, especially with the Yaggies. I can get Orlando from here, which is about 80 miles. I can get Orlando by turning my antennas to point towards it. So yeah, I can get repeaters all over the northern part of the state. So I use this more than any other radio. Here's some of the specs. We'll get into that in the videos that I do. I will get into detailed aspects of the specs of this radio. So now you got the radio, and you want to use the SAT box with it. What's a SAT box? Here's the SAT box right here. This is it. Getting an antenna rotator to work with a computer can be an expensive and complicated task. After paying hundreds for the Yaesu rotor, you then have to pay for an expensive computer interface. Next, your cables to hook them up, and choosing configure satellite software, right? This box, the SAT box, does away with the confusion. Just attach the rotator and the rig. I'll show it to you right here. Yes, 100 watts in a Yagi is great coverage, Ed. All right, let's switch to this camera here so you can see this. This is the connectors on the SAT box, and you can see it right there. You see the one that says power? You need a USB cable going into that to power it. That's all you need. It doesn't hook up to the computer that way at all. The next thing, power. This one, this is your connector for where it says CON here. That's where you put your, can I get this light on here? There it is, CON, C-O-N. That's where you connect your radio's CI5 port right there. This next little block here, this is to hook up a light or something on it so when a satellite comes, it flashes. You could do that. This setting here, this plug here is for the rotator. Yeah. Oh, I was wrong. No, this CON, ignore. Ignore what I said about that. This is where you hook up the radio. So you have a wire going to your radio, a wire going to your rotator, and power coming from any USB power supply. You could plug it into your computer, but the computer doesn't need it to run. And then what will happen is when it comes on in this window, once you get it'll come on like an access point. So you go into your phone and you look for the Wi-Fi. You look for the sat box Wi-Fi. Look at this, because it's green. You're seeing right through me. Look, I'm invisible. Woo! Anyway, that's the magician in me just playing. This sets up an access point setting. So you go in your phone and you get on that access point setting for this, and then you select your country, and then you select your Wi-Fi that you want it to work on. Put in the password, and then this thing will disconnect from your phone and reboot itself, and then an IP address will come in this window here. When that IP address comes up, all you do is you go to your browser, and in my case, I think I know the IP address. If I go to my browser, let's switch screens. Let's go. Whoops, that's not what I want. I want this. Here, 192.168.68. Is it 2? Let's see if it's... I don't think it's 2. I think it changed to 7. That's the only thing I don't like is every time... if my router reboots or something, it changes the IP address. Okay, so here's the IP address of my SAT right here up on top. And here's all your information. The nice thing about this is there's little quirks to this. Like you're looking right now, the blue that you see in the circle and in the rectangle here, right here and right here. That blue is a sky survey I did on a frequency. What you do is, see here it says survey 145.625. And then I also did it on 70 centimeters. We'll do this. This is the 70 centimeter survey. And if there was interference, you would see on here where the interference is. And you could literally click on the interference and the rotator will turn the Aggies right over to aim at it, which is pretty freaking cool if you ask me. So if somebody's giving you a hard time and you get interference and you use the survey, what the SAT box does is it makes 5 sweeps around us at 360 degrees, moving the antennas a little higher on every sweep until they're almost pointing straight up. And if there's interference, it will come up on this screen right here. All right, let's see what Roger has to say here. If you're interested in satellite contacts, the ICOM 9700 coupled with the SAT box is minimum need a computer to communicate with the SAT box. I use 2 stationary mobile antennas at home, which is pretty cool that he can do that. The problem is where the house is in the way, he loses the bird early. But yeah, you don't need a computer to do satellites with the SAT box. The SAT box is totally self-contained. That's what the S stands for, self-contained antenna tracker. It has everything in it. It automatically hooks up to the internet and downloads all the satellites you possibly could dream of. Let me show you what that looks like. Here are all the satellites that are loaded into the SAT box right now. Now notice, I don't have them all checked. I have some of them checked. I have some that aren't online checked, but when they come on, they're there. So let me just move your comment there, Roger. If you look at this, like for instance, AO91 wasn't heard last time. Let me get my mouse over there. Here's AO91 right here. It wasn't heard last time. AO73 was, so it has a green flag. AO27, we don't know. Nobody reported on that today, so it has a red question mark. AO123 is active. Right? AO07 I don't have checked because I can never get on that damn thing, so I gave up on it. I don't do it. Here you got the Hades satellites, the Hades ICM and the Hades-R. There, one of them was on, one wasn't. ISS is right here. JO97 is right here. The green flag means they've been heard today. MO122, it was heard today as an FM bird. I don't know why, but it was. Here's RS44. That is a linear satellite. SO50, I think it's getting sick. It's not working good. There's a lot of static and noise on it. I did make one contact on it tonight. The Sonate 2, this is a slow scan TV satellite. Sometimes they run it, sometimes they don't. Here are the Tavels. Notice they all have a red question mark, except for Tavel 9, which somebody tried to contact it and definitely said, nope, it's not there. Red question mark means nobody reported on it, and they don't know if it's up or down. The red flag means somebody did try to get it, and they didn't get it. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the SAP box. So you go through there, you pick the ones you want, and then you follow them. Roger says, my portable setup, a directional antenna, Alaskan Arrow with Yaesu 5500 rotor works much better, but that's additional dollars. Yeah, that's what he uses when he says it's much better. Not than what I'm doing. It's much better than using his vertical antennas. That's what he's talking about. So, and I helped Roger set that up, that Alaskan up 2 years ago at Field Day. And within 4 minutes of Field Day starting, we had our satellite contact that we got our bonus points for. Well, he got his bonus points for. All right, so now you saw a little bit about the radio, a little bit about the SAP box and how it works. Let's talk about the rotator. Let me go over here. Where do I have the rotator? Here we go, right here. Okay. Let's switch over to the rotator. This is the Yaesu 5500 rotator. I'd make the image larger, but look, click to make image larger. It's the same image, it's tiny. And if I try to zoom in on it, it doesn't zoom in. Oh, maybe a little. There it is. So on the right, you see the control box. On the left is the rotator. The top one is the elevation rotator. The bottom one is the azimuth rotator. The plugs you see facing you are where you hook up your control cables. That is, this is an expense, people. The control cables. I got 100 foot of control cables. That cost me a fortune. Thanks, Roger. I'm glad I've been helpful. Yeah, we had a good time that day, too. So you're talking a lot of money. You're spending a lot of money. So you have to try and figure out what is it you want to do. I do 2 or 3 satellites a day, sometimes make between 20 and 30 QSOs on different satellites, depending on if I'm going out working Uber or I'm staying home that day. I do it all the time. I love doing it. However, I have to say, since I got my Yaesu FTDX10, I'm doing a lot more HF now. So we'll see. I might do less satellites and more HF. A couple of nights I'll get on and we'll do some HF together. All right, let's shrink this page down. It's a little big. Features. If you're just starting out in satellite operations, the G5500 complete azimuth elevation rotation system that's ideal for most amateur applications. The dual controller lets you keep track of all aspects of the antenna system positioning, and the G5500 includes an interface jack for computer control. That was what I was showing you on the SAP box that plugs into this right here. Plugs into that plug right there. It comes with the cable that you plug in there with. So that's good to know. You can call them. They're in Cypress, California. You can go to yaesu.com and look up ham radio products and rotators. And you can find this page. If we go to the files, here's the instruction manual. We'll pop that open for you. There it is right there. And you get a better look at it. There is the rotator. You could see that plug that's facing you is a control cable plug. So that's a 6-conductor cable that plugs into the back of the rotator. And when you set the rotator the way you see it right here, 0 and 0, you put the rotator on your tower after setting it for 0 and 0. Put it on your tower or your poles or whatever. Put your antennas on it, and then what you do is you take the antennas and you set them up parallel to the ground, pointing north. That's all you got to do. Parallel to the ground, pointing north. Then, when you go to use it, it will know where it has to point, because the SAT box is going to tell it on what degrees in altitude and what degree on the horizon the satellite is. And it'll take care of all of that for you. Yeah, I have the sat box on here, don't I? Yeah. Let me just check something. We have an ISS pass coming up at 6:53. So since that's within the time span of my live feed here, we'll just do that pass too. It's going to last 23 minutes to go before we get it. And the pass is going to rise at 6:53 and it's going to set at 7:03. I'm looking to separate the rotor for my setup, but sent Yasu an email a couple of issues I might have with wind load. What do you mean you want to set it up as you want to separate it? You want to separate the vertical and horizontal? Don't do that. That wouldn't be smart. I don't know what you mean by that, Ed. You'll have to explain that to me in greater detail. Maybe I could help you out with that. I don't know why Yasu hasn't gotten back to you. If you call their tech support, ask for Roger. He's probably one of the most... Roger or Gandalf. Not Gandalf. Endoff. I call him Gandalf after the guy in Harry Potter. And he tells you, that's my main name. I say, I know. Anyway, he's a great guy. They both know a lot, so you could ask for them. Or Juan. Juan is their boss. He knows a lot, too. He's really educated. They have worked me through some crazy stuff I've gone through over the years because I'm shoot from the hip and clean it up later kind of guy. I don't necessarily have to know everything there is to know at every point in the project I'm working on. And if I screw it up, well, if it costs me money to fix what I screwed up, that's the cost of learning. That's the way I look at it. I don't look at it like it's a problem. I don't lose my temper. I don't get upset. So, yeah, I don't know why you would separate the rotors. That makes no sense at all. All right. Also, I don't have any link to this, but I have a 93-inch fiberglass crossarm, which has its pluses and minuses. Plus, it's not going to interfere with the signal. Minus, it's very sensitive to cold. So in the winters, when it gets down to 30 or 40 degrees down here, which it does a couple of days a year, usually in January, that thing contracts. And one day I went outside and looked up, and the 2-meter antenna was pointing at the ground, and the 70-centimeter antenna was pointing at the sky. And I said, uh-oh, something happened. Got to fix that. So I took down the tower, and that's what happened. The fiberglass had closed up so much that it just contracted so much that the clamp came loose, and it just blew over. All right. Where'd we leave off? We're going to get on this later. It's 6:32. We got 20 minutes before the ISS rises. Yeah. 20 minutes and 35 seconds. Mount the elevation part on the mast and the azimuth on the tower to use to its full potential. Still makes no sense to me, Ed, why you would separate the two. You need the crossarm. Okay, let's just look at the tower and explain this. The crossarm goes through one, and the elevation, the azimuth rotor is on the bottom. So you need to turn that crossarm to point toward wherever the satellite's going to be. Okay? So if you separate that from the azimuth, what are you going to have the azimuth one rotate the entire tower? It makes no sense. No reason to separate them. They're made to work the way they are right now. It's almost like it's an upside down mounted rotor. Unless you're going to put the rotator on the shelf underneath the little pyramid there and rotate that whole thing, why you would separate them makes no sense to me. None at all. Because together they know where they are. They know where the azimuth is and they know where the elevation is. Separating them makes no sense. Draw me a picture and send it to me. I'd love to see what you're talking about because it makes no sense to me separating the two. It's more work than you need to do. That's the thing. It's a lot more work than you need. I'm cutting off my head there. Why is my head cut off? Let me go to my solo camera, see if I can adjust that. Bring my head back. Oops, gotta press Alt. Hey, there's my head. I should quit while I'm ahead. Ta-da! Funny pun. Yeah, right. All right. So, by the way, there's no way to mount the elevation part on the mast. You're not going to get higher than the way I have my. I don't know. I don't know what you mean by full potential. I got full potential right now. I got horizon to horizon and 0 to 180 degrees. You got me stumped. You got me stumped there, buddy. I don't know why you would do that. Oh, look, my head's cut off here too. Why is that? I moved the camera, that's why, just so you know. I moved the camera after I set this all up. You think I just leave it alone? No. All right, my head's not cut off on that one. Okay, so we talked about the sat box. I told you about the cost of the 9700. We're talking $1,900. If you separate it, you can mount more antennas. No. I don't know what you mean by that, because that whole cross arm has to rotate with the antenna. All right, let me get to the other stuff I want to talk about. Here's the sat box. We talked about that. CSN Technologies. You can go to iGateMini.com/sat. It'll bring you to this page right here. When I bought this, it didn't have GPS. It was about $175 back then. The new ones that are coming out have GPS and Bluetooth. As a matter of fact, I have a prototype Bluetooth one that I've been messing with for a while. I haven't been able to use the Bluetooth, but I did get it to hook up to my 705, which was pretty interesting. X-Quad antennas. This is the meat and potatoes. If you talk to anybody about ham radio, who knows what they're talking about, more important than the radio, more important than the sat box, more important than the coax is the antenna. Now, don't get me wrong. This is the Wemo website. These are the antennas that I have on that crossarm. It says 232 euros, right? Well, that translates to about $265. That's each. Each one is $265. So you're going to invest over $500 just in the antennas if you want to have the same thing I have. And you're not done, because after you buy these antennas, you know what you got to do to tie them together? You got to get a phasing cable. And we scroll down to the bottom of the page here. And here are the phasing cables. 63 euros for the 70 centimeter one, right here. And 63 euros for the 2 meter one. So you see how the numbers are adding up. Are you adding this all together? Because we haven't even talked about the cost of the tower. That was free. I love saying that. I got a free tower. It only cost me $6,000. Between the $2,000 for the concrete work, the bases that I bought for it, multiple bases, because the first one failed and I had to redo it. More trial and error. But anyway, you still need a phasing cable for each antenna. That doesn't come with it. So you got to get that. And somebody asked, but Mike, what's the gain on that antenna? I'll show you what the gain is. If we look here, this is the manual for the X-Quads. The manual has a ton of pages, but little dirty secret, it's all in German until you get to here, page 8. The X-Quad is a step forward, but basing on the well-known boom quads. It's specially for amateur radio use. Design properties are: polarization is switchable, horizontal, vertical, and here's in German. High gain in comparison with other antenna systems, true. Short boom for simple construction, yes. And foremost mounting. You can mount it on the end like the picture we saw here, or you can mid-mount it, which is the way I have it. Now here's the details. Elements per plane. 2 meter X-Quad has 12 elements. 70 centimeter X-Quad has 18 elements. Gain. Now this is important. Means whether or not you need a preamp. 10.5 dB on the 2 meter and 12.8 dB on the 70 centimeter. So that is the gain on these antennas. This is the spread of their horizontal and vertical spreads as far as degrees. The 2 meter is 47 degrees in both vertical and horizontal, and the 70 centimeter is 36 degrees. So that means 36 degrees spread of the beam from that antenna. Wind load is right here. Not too bad. I leave them vertical when I'm not using them. The way they are now, they're not vertical right now. I'm gonna make it vertical here. I'll just go over here and hit park, and you could watch them. Watch how they move. I have them vertical because that's the least amount of wind load, as opposed to having them horizontal where you got wind load from the sides and the front and behind. This way they're vertical. They're all in the same plane as the tower. Makes it less wind load. And that's what it looks like when they go vertical. We got about 10 minutes till the ISS, 12 minutes till the ISS comes up. All right, so that is the X-Quad antennas. The 5500 rotor we talked about. There's the paperwork on that right there. This will tell you everything you need to know, but we're afraid to ask about the Yaesu azimuth elevation rotor controller. There are a lot of quirks on this. There's a lot of things I learned from Roger at Yaesu, and also from... I found this on the web. I wasn't talking to you, Siri. My battery's dying in my watch. Put it over here. I haven't used it in forever. It's been charging, and now I used it one day, and it's dead already. All right. The reason I put it on is because it can tell you if you're having you know what AFib is? When your heart flutters. It happened 4 times today. So turns out I have AFib, and my doctor put me on medication for it, and I'll let you know how that works out. But supposedly with this medication, I don't even have to worry about it. All right, so unpacking and inspection. I'll tell you a scary little story that happened to me. When I unpacked mine and took it out, I put the controller on top of my workbench, which was sitting on top of the manual, and the manual wasn't level, and it slipped and fell off the workbench about 5 feet and hit the ground and bent the case. Praise Jesus, nothing broke inside. It was just the case got a little ding, but scared the hell out of me. I hadn't even used it yet. Then I originally set it up. I had it in the garage on a speaker stand, and I was testing it that way and seeing if it worked. So that is the Yaesu 5500 rotor. Now, they give you these ends right here that plug in. They give you those, and you can manually wire them yourself. And this is what's telling you where all the wires go. On the back of the controller, each wire has 6 connectors. See that? 6 connectors for each one, for azimuth and elevation. Okay, and then this plug here, they give you the cable that fits in this plug, and the other end of that cable goes right into the sat box. And then these are clamps that hold the wires there so you don't yank them. But make your life easy. ABR Industries, ABRIND.com. They sell control cables, whatever length you need. If you need 50 feet, they'll make one for you. If you need 100 feet, they'll make it for you and send it to you. No, it's not cheap, but it's the best, and I had them do that for me. They gave me 200-foot cables. Now, I didn't need 100 feet, so what I ended up doing was I had an end on each one. I fished the wire through the wall. I ended up resplicing the wire back together, leaving the soldering connections that they built on the plugs there on both ends. The end coming in had spade tips on the end, and I just cut it and redid that so I get the cables connected into my rotator that's in the house. And they make what they call a lightning kit. All it is a short wire that connects to the rotator that has a Molenex plug on it that you can disconnect it during thunderstorms if you'd like. I never do. I do make sure I have the power shut off going to it at the time, but I don't disconnect any cables. I leave everything connected during storms. And boy, we had a good one yesterday. We get the kind of thunderstorms down here in Florida that it starts rumbling, and as it starts rumbling, we select the ISS over here, so we're ready. We got 8 minutes for the ISS rises, and what we'll do is I'll do that ISS pass, and then we'll close down this video and go right to the ISS pass. We got 9 people watching right now. Thanks, everybody, for watching. That's really nice of you to come by. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Look in the notes. In the notes are codes and websites where you can get discounts on all kinds of stuff. You want to buy those ABR cables for your rotator? Get 10% off using my code ABR10 HAM FUN. ABR10 HAM FUN. Get 10% off the price of those cables, which doesn't seem like a lot, but if it's a $300 cable, that's $30 you get off. Yeah, you might want to do that. All right. I always try to get a discount code from somebody. If I don't have a discount code for myself, I use like Mike's, K&MRD, or Ham Radio Crash Course, or Ham Radio 2.0. They have this, and Frank even has a discount code for Gigaparts. So these cables, I know HRO sells these cables and everything. Speaking of HRO, you want me to look at page 6 of the manual. Oh, pre-installation adjustment. Switch the control. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll cover this in the detailed video on the rotator. The first video I'm going to do is going to be on the 9700 and the sat box. The next video I'm going to do is going to be on the Wemo antennas. Then I will do a video on the rotator, and we'll cover this stuff in detail on that. These okay, yeah, azimuth, elevation, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yeah, this is how you make sure it's all set up right. Yep, I agree. Ed put that up there. Ed wanted to show you that. So, first of all, anybody got any questions? Got any questions for me? Shoot them now. Because in a second, the antenna is going to start to move. Well, not in a second. In a little while. It's going to start to move, and then we're going to do an ISS pass. As long as those clouds stay where they are, we're good. There have been thunderstorms today, but nothing over me. Yesterday, it was like Armageddon here. I was driving through it, coming home, and it stormed. Literally, I'm driving down 95 from Jacksonville, coming home to Palm Coast, and I stop at the rest area up by Jacksonville. I had to pee. I was in the car all day. I had to go. So I ran into the bathroom, went to the bathroom, came back out, and it was completely dark. It was unbelievable. It was so dark when I came out from the bathroom. I was like, oh my God. And then it started to drizzle. So then I hit the gas and started headed home as fast as I could. And Ed, what are you sending me here, Ed? I got to look at this right now. Let's see. What is Ed sending me? Ed sent me a picture. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. That's not page 6. What page is this? This is... Oh, that's page 6. That's not the manual I had on TV, on the live feed, but we'll get it. Hold on. Close that. All right. I see what you're saying. That now it makes sense what you want to do. So in other words, what he wants to do is mount the azimuth rotor on the bottom, have the mast go up, and have the rotator on top. You still can't mount additional antennas on the mast because the rotator on top is going to go around in a circle, and it's going to hit it. That cross arm is going to hit him, right? I don't know. I'll go look at that manual later. I have that manual in a drawer over there. I can get it. The manual we're looking at online is not from there. But if that's what you want to do, go for it. What I did is I just mounted the rotator like that, upside down. and did it that way. Let's see, where's the ISS now? ISS is right over Oregon, which you could see right there. The yellow footprint, that's the International Space Station. It's going to come diagonally and go southwest of me. So we'll get it. We're going to get it. When their antenna starts to turn, we'll jump over there and make some contacts. And that'll be it for tonight. Thank you all so much for coming. Make sure you always check the notes on every video I do. The new thing I'm doing now is the thumbnail is actually my PayPal. If you want to donate to the cause, help me out, keeping this channel going and doing great stuff, just hold your camera up to that. It'll open up a PayPal page. And if you want to give me $1, $2, that's great. I greatly appreciate any help I can get. I have to pay for X. I have to pay for what else? There's so many things that cost me money to keep doing this. The good news is I sold a radio to buy this. I had a Kenwood 440S that I sold for the amount of money I paid for this. I'm not just going to leave it at that. I'm not talking about dollars and cents. No need for you to know the details like that. But you can see here the geochron shows the ISS right there. Literally, it's 2 minutes away from me. So why don't we get the sat box on the screen, wake up the 9700, and get my headphones on. I'm refinancing my house, and Rocket Mortgage just told me they got everything they need. Woohoo! And they should have my money in about 72 hours. Woohoo! How cool is that? All right, move the drink out of the way so I don't knock it over on my keyboard. Check the volume on the radio. It's there. You see the flip-flopping frequencies. Tells you that the ISS is programmed into the radio by the sat box. And now all we're waiting for now is to watch the tower take a spin. And we have 1 minute. There it is. It's going already. Just right when I said it, it turned to the right azimuth, and now the antennas are coming down to point at the horizon. And you can see that on there. I'm also going to talk about some other stuff about working satellites, like the little idiosyncrasies with certain birds. SO50, if it's not used for 10 minutes, it shuts off the repeater. I'm not flying up there on a Falcon 9 to go flip a switch and turn it back on, right? How do you turn it back on? You send a CTCSS tone of 74.4 for 2 seconds. I do 5 because I never know if it's making it. Once you do that, the satellite goes, oh, they want to use the repeater. Turn it on. And they turn on the repeater. Now I switch the CTCSS tone back down to 67, and at that point I can make contact with the SO50. Other things, I've talked about this many, many times, RS-44. RS-44, though it was a botched mission because the satellite never deployed. It stayed connected to the second stage of the rocket. So the second stage of the rocket and the satellite are floating through space together. There's the chirp. That means the ISS is at the horizon. I'm going to start listening for it. So what happens is when that booster gets in between you and the satellite, because man, just think of this as the booster and the satellite's up here. So they don't fly straight level like an airplane. I've explained this many times. So if that thing rotates like this and the booster's facing me, I'm not getting anything on that. So the satellite will fade away to nothing. If you're using linear antennas, vertical or horizontal, because the satellite is tumbling, you're going to lose signal because the antenna is never in one exact. It's never just vertical or just horizontal. It's moving constantly. So the nice thing about the X quads is it picks it up whether it's vertical or horizontal. It'll get it both ways. It can pick it up and get the signal. So there are certain not sufficient space to continue recording. I filled up my hard drive. I got a 2 terabyte hard drive. I filled it up. You got to change the settings in OBS. Save the images someplace else. I have 6 terabytes of space on 3 different hard drives in this computer. All right, I'm seeing stuff on a waterfall. Let's make some contacts live here on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Let's open up a window to log my QSOs and make it so you can see. I can see it better. Let's give a call out, see if anybody hears me. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. Nope. I see there's people on there. You can see the waterfall's got activity on it. Kilo Delta 5, Romeo Foxtrot. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India. Was that Kilo Delta 5, Romeo Foxtrot? This is KO4 PDI, Echo Lima 99. Kilo Delta 5, Romeo Foxtrot. This is Kilo Oscar 4 of Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99. Jammer's on again.
Cal 4, Charlie Mike X-ray, Foxtrot Mike 7. Kilo Delta 5, Romeo Foxtrot.
Kilo Delta 5, Romeo Foxtrot, KO4 PDI, Echo Lima 99. Kilo Oscar 4, Charlie Mike X-ray, KO4 PDI, Echo Lima 99, QSL.
KO4 PDI. Delta 5, Echo November Hotel, Echo Mike 00. Delta 5, Echo November. Papa Victor Whiskey. Okay, I got the Papa Victor Whiskey. Kilo Delta 5, Romeo Foxtrot Golf. Kilo 4, India Oscar, Echo Mike 83.
Kilo Delta 5, Romeo Foxtrot Golf, KO4 PDI, Echo Lima 99, QSL. Oklahoma.
Echo Lima 99.
73.
KD5 RFG, Whiskey 5, Quebec Zulu, Echo Mike 10. Quebec Zulu, starting at the left, QSL. Whiskey 5, Quebec Zulu, W5, Quebec Zulu.
Texas. Whiskey 5, Quebec Zulu, KO4 PDI, Echo Lima 99, QSL, David.
QSL, Whiskey 5. Whiskey Quebec Zulu, Kilo 4, India Oscar, Echo Mike 83. Kilo 4, India Oscar, 5 Quebec.
That's James in Georgia, Kilo 4, India Oscar. Kilo 4, India Oscar, KO4 PDI, Echo Lima 99. Here's the ident from the ISS.
Whiskey 5, Quebec Zulu. Here's Whiskey Delta 5, Echo November Hotel, Echo Mike 00. Echo November Hotel, Cal 4, Charlie Mike X-ray, Foxtrot Mike 7. Okay, what was the call again? Kilo India 4, Charlie Mike X-ray, Foxtrot Mike 7. W35ENH is Whiskey 5, Quebec Zulu, Echo Mike 10. Roger, we got your Whiskey 5, Quebec Zulu. KI4, 4, MX, Whiskey Delta 5, Hotel, Echo Mike 00. Yeah, the code is Kilo Mike X-ray.
Oh, I hate this jammer. Some idiot's a jammer. I hate that.
5, Quebec Zulu, Whiskey 4, Echo Radio, Echo Mike 5.
Kilo India 4, Charlie Mike X-ray, KO4 PDI, Echo Lima 99.
Whiskey 5, Quebec Zulu, November 5, Delta Sierra, Echo Mike 50. November 5, Delta Sierra, Whiskey 5, Quebec Zulu, Echo Mike 10. 73.
November 5, Delta Sierra, KO4 PDI, Echo Lima 99.
Charlie. Kilo 94, Whiskey, Echo Lima 96.
Kilo November 4, Whiskey, Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99.
How are you? 59, very good. Good afternoon.
Roger, Roger, Armando. Let somebody else get in there. I don't want to be hoarding this.
65, Quebec Zulu, whiskey.
It's 7 o'clock, folks. I think we've streamed. Oh, I can't. I didn't understand.
Oscar 9 Charlie. Whiskey Oscar 9 Charlie, Whiskey Tango Delta.
Oh, it is Whiskey Tango 2 Delta. That is my good friend Michael. He's down in.
Saludos, Flaco. Saludos, Humberto.
Whiskey Tango 2 Delta, KO4 PDI.
Saludos, René. Gusto escucharte aquí en el ISS.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I don't speak Spanish. How you doing, Michael?
Very good, very good.
Got you in the book.
Oh, you're back.
He knows me. I don't even have to get my call sign. He knows who I am. He's the one that got me doing that, what was that, IO 117?
Oscar 9 Charlie, Whiskey Tango 2 Delta.
It's a very busy pass. You're absolutely right. Very busy pass. But this happens weekends and evenings are very busy on the ISS. I love to get I would love to get an astronaut on there, but
Kilo Yankee 4.
they just went down to 9 degrees and I still got it. Might get some Puerto Rican stations now. Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, Echo Lima 99.
Hey, Mike, do you have Sun 8 of Cuba confirmed? Kilo Oscar 4, again your call, 9.
Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India. Michael, what were you asking me?
Kilo Oscar 4, your call, 9 Yankee 4 Mexico, 9 Yankee 4 Mexico again. For Mexico,
Trinidad and Tobago. 9 Yankee 4 Mexico. 9 Yank. Ah.
KO4 PDI, WT2D.
Yeah, WT2D. Tell 9Y 4M. 9 Yankee 4 Mexico. Gotcha.
Yankee 5 Alpha Lima India, Yankee 5 Alpha Lima India, KSS.
Yankee 5. Yankee 5 Alpha. Come back. Another Trinidad and Tobago. Yankee 5 Alpha. I didn't get the rest of your call sign. KO4 PDI, Echo Lima 99. At Yankee 5 station I didn't get. Oh well. 9 Yankee 4 Mexico, I got him. 9 Yankee 4 oh well, forget it. We're not going to get him. Not anymore. The bird is setting. It's 0.4 degrees above the horizon. We'll call that a success. Oh, man, we made a lot of contacts there. Woo! I wasn't expecting that, but we did. We did good, so... Thanks, everybody, for watching. The antenna, you can see, is pointing almost due south, right over my house. And as you can see, the footprint for the ISS is right past me just now. Right there. You can see the yellow dot is me. The yellow circle is the footprint of the ISS. So, yeah, we're done. I hope you guys like that. Look forward to me doing these videos on each individual item that I use for satellite contacts. I am not going to do a detailed video on the ICOM 9700. There are a million videos that teach you all about that radio. All I'm going to do is show you how I use it for satellites. You've seen it. If you've watched me do satellites, you know how I use it. But I'll do that in the future. So, look forward to that series of videos. What I do is once I get them all done, they will be in a playlist on my channel, and you could go to that playlist and watch each individual video for any questions you might have, how I use it, where I use it, and why I use it. Also, if you're in the Florida area, September 7th, I will be doing a talk at the Elks Club in New Smyrna Beach for the Daytona Beach Amateur Radio Association, which is also having a ham fest that day, and I am the speaker for AMSAT. So come by and say hello. Oh, the little cold nose just hit my arm. My dog is like, hey, you've been on an hour already. Get off. Take me. Play with me. Get my ball. Do something with me. You've been paying too much attention to that radio. Right, Goldie? Goldie, here. Up here. Come here. Come here. Up. Come on. No, she don't want to do it. Follow me on TikTok. I do a lot of videos with Goldie on TikTok, and they're funny. Some of them are really funny. Some of them are just okay. But I hope you like the new microphone. I hope it sounded good. We're going to get a different mounting for it, but it's going to work out great. I appreciate all you guys coming out here and watching me. It makes me feel really good that I got 11 people watching me right now. Go back, like, subscribe, hit the bell. You know the story. Everybody asks you to do the same thing on their YouTube channels. I have over 1,000 subscribers, but I don't have 4,000 hours watched. Hey, Hayden saying hi to you, Goldie. Goldie's call sign is K9AUY. K9AUY is her call sign. And thanks. I'm glad you like the videos, Hayden. I'm glad you like them. And the microphone sounded a lot better. Wonderful. I'm glad. The nice thing about it, I don't have to be I don't have to be right here talking on it. I could be back here talking on it, and it still sounds good. Even when I'm doing HF QSO's single sideband, it works out nice. Yeah, and as Hayden says, don't forget to like and subscribe. You know what you could do? Just start clicking on my shorts and let it just play on. So I get watched hours. I need watched hours. I got like 2,700 watched hours. I need at least 4,000 watched hours in a 12-month period in order to monetize, which I'm not yet. So anybody out there thinking I'm getting rich off YouTube, kiss my big white butt in Macy's window. I'm not. I'm not making a lot of money. But let's see what we do in the future. I'm no Josh. I'm not quitting a day job to do this. I do it because I love it. And if you love it too, that's the best. That's the best, to deal with it that way. So on that note, everybody, I think I'm winded for today. We did an ISS Pass this morning live, and we did this one now. And we got a bunch of QSOs I got to upload to QRZ and Logbook of the World. Maybe someday I'll even do a video on that. All right. In that note, remember what I always say. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, at least not without me, all right? Give me a call first, and I'll run down there, and we'll do it together, okay? Like and subscribe. Hit the bell. Somebody's hitting a lot of hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think that's Hayden, not that Hayden, down in Australia doing that. All right. I got to do rearranging on some hard drives now. KO4, PDI. You take care, everybody. I'll see you. 73. Thanks, Hayden. I will have an awesome evening. You guys too. Have an awesome evening. Take care.